What about you? Today we're going to talk about autumn lawn care tips, what you need to do to get the most out of your lawn. We're going to be talking about worm casts, clearing leaves off the lawn, heights of cut, best thing to feed your lawn coming into autumn. Stick around. First job for autumn lawn care is keeping the leaves off the lawn. Obviously it's pretty obvious, but you want to keep the leaves off the lawn the best you can. Now we seeded the lawn about a month ago, so it's important to us to really keep them off daily basis and keep the light coming into the lawn. Now we've got the leaves cleared off the lawn, I can see we've been ignoring the edges for a while. I'm going to get the strimmer out and give this a trim because it's quite hairy. Next up, worm casts. Now, not all worms leave casts. There's little mounds of soil that appear in your soil coming into autumn and winter. You actually want worms in your lawn, they're little aerators. Last year, a lot of people asked me for products to remove them. The only thing you could really use is probably a bit of mustard. But I would argue, or I would try and steer you to letting the worms stay in the lawn. And I'm going to show you 4 different items that you can use to remove the cast off your lawn, so let's do that now. We'll have our greenkeeper switch. Now this is a fiberglass rod just in this pole and it locks into this and it's very good. You can also use this to clear dew and leaves off the lawn. As you can see, if I want to do the whole lawn, I could do the entire lawn very quickly with this device. This is going to be the fastest way. One of these dew switches probably cost you £60 or £70, so it might be a bit dear just for the average gardener. So let's have a look at something that you're going to have in your house and it's going to be free. Something that you're all going to have in your own shed is actually a stiff brush. A stiff brush is really good for whenever you have worm cast, just to brush off the lawn. Cheap, easy, works. Let's do that now. Now, anytime I tell you to brush the grass, folks, always remember about your neighbours because they're going to think you're nuts if they see you out brushing the grass. Next up, to remove the worm cast off the lawn is actually just to take a blower and to blow them off. Very simple. Now, whenever we were clearing off the lawn, we actually blew a lot of them. Last up, my final tip to remove worm casts from a lawn is to use a drag mat. This is a drag mat that we made for less than £40 to top dress and overseed the lawn with. Just pull it behind and it's going to do a really fantastic job at cleaning worm casts off the lawn, and it's going to be really quick too. Now my next tip is going to be about raising your height of cut. So you'll hear a lot of people say that you should raise your height of cut coming into the autumn and winter. The reason for that is that the grass plant absorbs and makes and stores energy within the leaf. Whenever you're coming into autumn and winter, there's not as much light and the grass can't store and make the same amount of energy. So to help it overcome that, we'll cut the grass a bit longer. So now we're going to get the lawnmower out and give the grass a cut, so let's do that now. While we're doing the height, we may as well do the qualities. look at some of the grass here. Not loads of grass came off it, but enough to warrant a cut. Good cut, so pretty happy with that. Going from 15 mil to 20. Now, it hasn't been cut in a week, but really, yeah, good amount of grass there. A bonus tip, this is the only area that you can walk on and off the lawn to. I'm going to fork this area because it's going to get heavily compacted. Whenever you're coming into the autumn and winter, then places that get worn will get badly affected and it takes away from the overall look of the lawn. So the best thing to do is just to give those areas an aerate. The easiest way to do that is just with a fork or a drill, so we'll do that now. My final tip for autumn lawn care tips is to spray some seaweed in iron. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this now. Today we're going to be using the Symbio. Now if you want to buy off my link, there's an affiliated link in the video description. If you buy off my link, it helps support this channel, makes these videos possible. There's also a discount code. Spit the bricks out. There is also a discount code down there, so I'm going to put on some seaweed and some iron, just a light dusting to help keep some colour in the lawn. So let's do that now. Just to have a quick look at this core, there's not a lot of thatch here. This is predominantly a ryegrass lawn, not expecting to see a lot. Gonna give a quick shout out to Ben Sims over in Australia. Ben, love your content. Man after your own heart. So customer here has this John Deere tractor. It's gonna help with the tidy up. The bucket here, put all the waste into the bucket. Now obviously the waste is gonna have to be all tidied up anyway, and then we'll bring it over and we'll put it in that, and then that's gonna go in the customer's compost bin, so happy days. So the customer just uses this here because he's got fields all around him that he cuts. So he cuts these fields and the fields around it with a John Deere. The only thing I'm gonna say about that tractor is boys and their toys. To have a quick look at the stuff that has come out of this, so this is what we would typically expect to come out of a lawn. This is just an organic layer that builds up naturally in your lawn. We call this thatch. It's basically just dead growth, grass, organic layer that just lives just below the surface, in between the soil and the surface. And it's all about maintaining the thatch. A lot of people think that your lawn shouldn't have any thatch. Thatch is actually natural and you want to have some, but it's about maintaining a healthy thatch layer. So that's what we're doing today for the Scarification and Aerating. Now, if you're enjoying this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more videos like this. Let's get on with it. So you can just see there's the robot, and then we'll have our line, so we've left plenty of space either side. Now the Scarification shouldn't hit the cable, but it's always best to be safe than sorry. That line is more for the aerator. Don't want to hit that cable and then find out that the robot doesn't work, so for us that'll be more hassle than it's worth. The day after I do the Scarification, I was intending to put down the moss killer. However, the customer has just said to me not to be doing that because they want to seed the lawn. So he watched one of my videos. I did a review of a tool a few years ago and he bought one of my recommendations. Let's have a look. You guys will be well familiar with it. So he has one of the Landsy spreaders, and he's putting on a product. So he's doing something that I think is quite a good idea. He mixes up his compost in the Landsy spreader, and he puts the seed in there, and then he rolls it on the lawn, and the seed gets on the lawn with that. Jack's magic. I know a lot of people swear by it. It has peat in it. I'm not a big fan of using peat in your lawn. I think that they're about to phase peat out, but we'll see. So I'm just going to let Danny get a wee bit ahead of me, and then I'm going to start getting the blower out, and we'll start getting this tidied up. Because I'm not liking these. There's a lot of big dark clouds here. It was meant to be dry this afternoon, but I always joke, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. If you don't want to be scarfing in the wet, because it's no fun at all. Nope. Now it looks like it's going to rain. There's a lot of really big dark clouds behind me here, so I'm going to have to get the camera away and get on. I want to get this scarified. You absolutely 100% don't want to be scarifying in the wet or trying to clear this up, because it's a nightmare because it's a big garden. So we've just had our lunch. It tried to rain. It hasn't rained, thankfully. It's going to be a lot easier to tidy this up. This is a trick we do to tidy up if we're just clearing up on our own. I get a lot of questions from people that are maybe thinking about buying a robot lawnmower. A lot of people that sell them will say to you, you don't need to scarify your lawn, you don't need to aerate your lawn, you don't need to feed your lawn. I've heard all those stories before. I thought this lawn would be a pretty good example to show you guys whether or not you should scarify your lawn even if you have a robot lawnmower. This lawn is cut nearly all the time with the robot lawnmower 2 or 3 times a week, and you can see the debris, the mess that's come out of it. We still have the thatch in it that you would expect to have in the lawn, and this lawn is cut all the time with the robot lawnmower unless it's really wet. And you can still see we still have all that lateral growth in the lawn, and you can see all the mess that we've pulled out all around it. I thought I'd bring you back to the lawn. We did the renovation work a couple of weeks ago just to see how well the lawn's come on for a bit of a before and after. You can see that the colour's coming back into it really well. I'm happy how that lawn's progressing. Today we're going to be aerating, scarifying and putting down a moss killer and feeding this large lawn.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our life.
So as you can see, the aeration's now been carried out, so now we're going to do the scarifying. It is trying to rain here at the minute, so we'll have to see how it goes. Alright, so that's one pass over the lawn. You can see the amount that's come out. I'm pretty happy with what's come out, so let's have a look at it. It's our usual affair. Lots of moss, lots of thatch, really just choking the lawn. So whenever we get this out, it's going to let the lawn breathe. Aerating and scarifying your lawn once a year. Really good to get this out if you want a really good, healthy lawn the rest of the year. Unfortunately, it's starting to rain here, so I've had to put the camera away. I did use the GoPro a minute ago. I'm going to have to put it away again because it's starting to rain again, and I need to do this a second time. So let's get on with that now. So at the minute, Daniel's putting on the moss control.
This could be the summer of our lives now, honey. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me.
What about you? Welcome to How to Improve the Perfect Lawn. You might not have the perfect lawn, or your own lawn might not be so great. If you follow these simple steps from this video, it'll help you transform a poor lawn into something to be proud of. Let's go. The first step is aeration, where we'll pull these plugs out of the lawn. One of the most effective ways to improve your lawn is aeration. This allows water and air down into the roots. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to smash the like button. If you have any questions or comments about the stuff that I'm covering, always leave me a question down below. Next up, we have scarification, or if you're in America, you might know it as thatching. Scarification or thatching pulls out dead or decaying material from your lawn. Now that we have all the debris lifted off the lawn, scarification is perfect as it creates lines in the soil and it gives us somewhere safe to put the seed into. So our next step is to seed the lawn. Today we're using a mixture of peat-free compost and a high quality topsoil. As the lawn's quite small, I'm just spreading it directly from the bag. You don't need any fancy tools for this. Whenever you're seeding a lawn, the most important thing is good soil to seed contact. A pro tip for you, if you're wanting to level your lawn, don't use compost, as compost breaks down and it'll throw your levels off. It's important to make sure that the material's well raked in and you're not smothering the grass. These big rakes are perfect for this task. I'll leave an affiliated link down in the video description. You can do the entire garden with a rake, however it can be a bit slower. We use this tool, it's called a drag mat, and it is just that, it literally drags the material in. I have another video where I made a homemade drag mat for less than £40. I'll leave a link to that video in the video description. The video is called An Easy Way to Level Your Lawn with Everything That You Need. We have two important tasks left. Fertilizing the lawn with a pre-seeder fertilizer. This gives your seed the best possible start against weeds and diseases. Our next step is to apply seaweed to the lawn. We do this as it helps with growth hormones and it improves the soil. If you're carrying out a job like this on your own lawn, make sure that you water the lawn every day for the next 6 to 8 weeks if there's no rain present. Leave it a few weeks before you cut the grass and cut on a high setting the first time. What about you? Today we're going to be scarifying this really large lawn. Today we're going to be doing this really large lawn, as I said. Now you can see that it's pretty big here. There's a lot of space here. Just going to say it's at the stage where you'd maybe think to yourself, tractor and attachment in the back of the tractor, something PTO driven. But today we're just going to crack on with our normal scarifier and get it done. It is a little bit early in the season to do this. I know you guys are going to be asking me in the comments down below, can you scarify? We usually start scarifying the middle of August. We're a week early into that. My reason for this is such a big garden. This garden's huge. There's the best part of 3,000 square meters here, so it's going to take us a bit of time. So scarifying this early on, the customer is going to have to water it for the next couple of days, but they're forecasted next week there's to be a lot of rain next week. So while we've got the heat and then the dampness will come next week, and the lawn will start to really recover quite quickly. So if you scarify early on in the year or early on in the season towards autumn time, I'd rather do the scarifying a wee bit earlier in August than end of November where we're not getting the recovery. It's different a lot of places, or you might live in the south of England and it stays warmer a lot longer. Here in Belfast, temperatures drop quite quickly, so that's why I start the scarifying in August, then we'll finish in the middle of October with our scarifying. Alright, so at the minute Danny's doing a scarify. We're only doing a small section here. The reason for that, it's such a big space. If we were to scarify that whole thing once, it might take up to an hour, and one of us is going to be standing doing nothing, although the regulars know that I don't do a lot of the best of times, but jokes aside folks. So I'm going to take over from him now, and then that means we'll get that little square done. He can start clearing that bit up and I can start scarifying more of this section here. So let's get on with that now. So you can see Danny's just started doing a tidying up. It is going to be a bit of a mammoth task getting all this cleared up, but I have something to show you that hopefully is going to speed all this up, because it's going to take quite a while. This side of the lawn is actually smaller than the far side, so I'm going to show you that very shortly. For anyone new to the channel, I'm going to do a brief explanation of what scarification is. So you can see that we've pulled all this debris out of the lawn. So to have a look at some of the waste that comes out of this, scarification, this is called thatch. It's an organic layer that grows in your garden. Every time you cut your grass, some material goes down into your lawn. There's some moss mixed through that as well. And this just naturally accumulates. Over time, your grass might start growing in different directions instead of straight up. So scarification, it cleans out. There's just below the grass surface, there's the organic layer that's called thatch. Some thatch in your lawn is acceptable, but whenever you start to have too much, then it starts to become a problem. So we did this lawn last year, and you wouldn't really believe, but this time last year we probably pulled twice the amount of waste out that we've pulled out today, but you can see that there's a lot of material there. It's pretty warm here in Northern Ireland. I don't know if you can see the screen. Sun, we're 25 degrees. So I finally have most of the garden scarified. We've done the one run over it. The far side, we've got that double scarified and lifted, so happy days. It's into lunchtime now, I am feeling the heat. So I have this stuff with me today because it's a sunny 24, 25 degrees in Northern Ireland. That is tropical temperatures. I know in parts of the UK, you guys are getting it really warm, but 25 degrees is really warm here. So I have a special guest with me today. I brought my dad Chris along. I told him that he could fly the drone. He's here to fly the drone, but he also is doing the dump run, so happy days. My thoughts on the blower. This definitely isn't a review. I got this unit because I have been thinking about buying one, but I don't think it's a good fit for me. One of the golf courses with Philomat, Beaver, they have something similar. I think their blower is slightly bigger. I thought this blower, there was a lot less fatigue using it, but it had about the same power as what the backpack does, and I think the backpack is more versatile, and that's why I don't think it's a great fit for me. Although I may get one in the future. If you've enjoyed this video, watch this video next, as I think you'll enjoy it too. Today we're doing a lawn renovation project. We're going to be aerating, scarifying, top dressing, overseeding and putting on a pre-seeder fertilizer, so stick around. Our first job is hollow core aeration. Hollow core aeration is the relieve compaction and the remove thatch out of the lawn. Before we go any further, if I could ask you guys to smash that like button down below, it really helps me out and it really helps me grow my channel, and subscribe for more videos like this. I post regular lawn care tips and tricks on how to bring your lawn to the next level. The next step is scarification, and this is to remove moss and thatch from the lawn and to create a seed bed. It never fails to amaze the amount of moss and debris that you take out of a lawn. On this occasion, we did multiple passes as we were going to be seeding and top dressing afterwards. Right guys, so we'll have it all lifted up and all the debris lifted up. So now we're going to do the seeding. So this is the Barenberg E1 range. So don't know if the camera picks up that. So there's some fescue in that and there's some rye in that. Because we're getting towards the end of the year, I want to have a seed that has rye so the seed kicks off right away. We're not going to dress all the lawn. There's just some bare spots here that I'm going to dress. A bit through here, it's getting dressed. Some here. Let's bring a camera around this area here. See this through there. See if we can get that to come back. If you're enjoying this video, if you could hit that like button down below, it really helps me out and it helps me grow my channel. If you have any questions about what I've covered in today's video, leave me a comment down below. A lot of my videos are made just to answer the questions that you guys ask me, so leave me a comment down below, subscribe for more content like this and smash that like button. As it turned out, we had enough to top dress all the lawn with the bags there. Seed down, top dressing down, mat it in. We're going to give it a feed now. Usually I would say the feed would be the last step. However, I came back a couple of weeks later just to see how the lawn looked, so make sure you stay around for that. This is the lawn 2 or 3 weeks later. Now this renovation was done right at the very end of September, beginning of October. You can start to see the new grass seed coming through. It is coming through. It's going to take a little bit longer than it usually does. We're just going to be aerating and scarifying this medium-sized lawn. So this is actually one of the gardens we look after on a long-term basis. I've been looking after this lawn for a long time. We do the hedges twice a year, do the grass, look after the paving, all that other fun stuff. For anybody who's new to the channel, we do this, we pull these things here out. These are the cores from the aeration. We do this here for a few different reasons. Number one, it lets air down into the lawn and helps the lawn breathe. But do it along with scarification, is it removes some of this stuff here. The bit that's bouncy on a core, bouncy, this is actually thatch. So some thatch in your lawn is healthy, but whenever you start to have too much of this stuff, then it becomes unhealthy. This lawn has a reasonable amount of thatch in it, but we just want to keep it down to a minimum. And we're going to pull out, you can see some moss on the top of that core, so we're looking to pull that out and we're going to let the air down in. If you're enjoying this video, if you could smash that like button, because it really helps me out and it helps me grow my channel. Subscribe for more videos like this. I post regular lawn care tips and tricks and bringing your lawn to the next level. So let's get on with it. So just as Danny finishes off there, we're going to get the scarifier out. I ain't going to do the scarifying. The regulars that watch my show always give me a bit of abuse about Danny always doing all the work. So you're going to see me doing some work for a change. Let's get on with that now. Alright guys, now I have Danny back at the work, so as me and you can have a talk now. Just to show you what we're sort of pulling out of this here, you can see thatch and moss and stuff that's generally not very nice. So whenever we pull this out, it's going to help the lawn breathe. Now there's not actually too much moss through this. It's mostly just thatch and organic material. So over time your lawn does pick up organic material, and that's why we do the scarifying to pull this out. So this is really going to help the lawn breathe. Now today we're only doing one slow pass over it, because just to try and pull out as much as we can, but without being too hard on it. I sort of feel if we did 2 passes on the lawn, it might be too hard. What we'll actually do is we'll get all this cleared up, and then I'll assess whether or not we need to go over to pull more of this out. Now that's us coming to the end of the scarifying. We do have more stuff to show you, but if you have the time with scarifying, a good thing to do is to let it dry off, because it's a lot easier to lift and to take away. So we're going to let this dry off, go and have a cup of tea, and we'll see you shortly. Right guys, now we've had our tea, so we're just going to get the blower out and clear all this mess up, and then we're going to get on with the rest of it. So see you in a minute. Alright guys, so as you can see, we took a fair bit out just from the one pass. Just at the minute guys, Danny's putting on the moss control. We'll put this on afterwards because it helps burn the moss. A lot of people put moss control on before, but I think that's wrong. I've explained this before in videos. If you think of the moss all sitting up, and whenever you spray the moss, you're only spraying the top. But if you wait until after you scarify the surface, and if you wait until after you've scarified the lawn, then you've opened the grass up and you're going to get the iron right down to the bottom. So that's why we do it at the end. So today I'm going to show you how to improve the perfect lawn. Stick around. What does a lawn need to be perfect? It needs some simple steps to get there. In this video, I'm going to be breaking it down. Let's go. First step is hollow core aeration. This process pulls these plugs out of the ground. To look at one of the plugs or cores more closely, you'll see 3 distinct layers. At the very top of the core we have a little tuft of grass, and then just below that we have the thatch layer. Whenever you squeeze it together, it is very spongy, and at the bottom there we have the soil. As you can see, the roots are going the whole way to the bottom of the core. This usually is a very good sign of a healthy lawn. If you have compacted soil, the roots aren't going to penetrate deep down into the soil like we have on this lawn, and that's going to lead to unhealthy soils. Before we get too far into this video, guys, if you could smash that like button, subscribe for more videos like this. I post regular lawn care tips and tricks and bringing your lawn to the next level. Let's get on with it. Excessive thatch is easily removed by scarification. Thatch is a natural layer of organic matter, a tangle of dead leaves and debris. A nice thin layer is healthy, but if it gets too thick, it actually stops water, air and nutrients being absorbed by the soil. It starves and it suffocates the grass. Thatch is easily removed with this tool here. It's called a scarifier. The scarifier removes scary amounts of rubbish from the lawn, leaving it looking temporarily quite sorry for itself. It basically scratches all the moss and dead leaves out of it. We've now done a double pass out of the lawn, and you can see just how much has come out. We've taken out loads. Now let's have a look at it. You can just see all that matted grass, organic layer full of weed grasses, and that just stops your lawn from breathing. So that's why we're doing the scarifying. We're going to let all this dry. We're going to go away and have a cup of tea, and hopefully whenever we come back after our lunch, this will all be ready to clear up and it'll be a lot easier to deal with. So we'll see you shortly. Scarification helps with the next thing, and that is it creates lines in the soil that allow us to seed into, and that is the next step. Overseeding is the practice of adding fresh grass seed to the lawn to thicken it up. The seed falls down into the lines created by the scarification, giving it somewhere safe to grow. It will give your lawn a more even colour. Overseeding your lawn also helps with increased resistance to lawn diseases, improved weed resistance, and a much more drought tolerant lawn. The next step in overseeding is to ensure great seed to soil contact. This is important for seed germination. We use this tool. It is called a drag mat, and it does literally just that. It drags the seed into the ground. Check out the links in the video description for the DIY drag mat I made for under £40. After renovating a lawn, it is important to feed it to help it recover and get off to the best start. Avoid weed and feed products. The herbicide in these products will inhibit seed germination. Newly seeded lawns need consistent moisture. Keep the seed and soil moist with frequent light waterings twice a day for the first couple of weeks if no rain has fallen. Water the lawn more heavily every other day for the next week or so, then water as needed to prevent wilting. If you water your lawn correctly after seeding, it encourages deep, healthy roots on your lawn. The product we're currently putting on is called seaweed, and it's used to increase seed germination. What about you? Robbie from Premier Lawns, lawn care company based in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Today we're at a lovely house out in Hollywood. We're doing some aerating, some scarifying, and we're going to be levelling out a bit of an area, so stick around. If this is the first time you've visited this channel, hit the like button down below, subscribe for more content like this. I post regular tips and tricks on how to bring your lawn to the next level. Again, if you could just smash that like button down below, because it really helps me out and it helps me grow my channel. Listen, thanks very much, so let's go. Anyone that follows my channel will always hear me say, anytime I talk about lawn care, aerating's the #1 best thing that you can do for your lawn. So I'll just show you. We'll take one of these cores here. Take one of these cores. You see in this lawn there's very little roots in it. Over time your lawn becomes compacted and the roots can't get down. So if you don't have deep roots in your lawn, then your lawn can't store a lot of nutrients. If you want a really good lawn, aeration is really key, and it's something you want to be thinking about doing once a year to your lawn. So let's get back to it. Daniel's just done the aerating. I'm going to come along do the scarifying. We'll lift all that up. There's a couple of areas on it that have got some hollows in it, so we're going to put some soil in those. So as you can see, it's good. You can see a good hole in underneath that. Sometimes I would consider digging that out, but I think in this occasion, I'm just going to put a lot of soil in there and then put a load of seed over the top of it. Right guys, so as you can see, we've started our second pass, so we'll go one way and then we'll go the other. The tighter you bring the lines together, the less you take out. All right guys, so we've scarified the lawn once, and now I'm going to show you why we'll go across it again. So we have taken quite a bit out. But you can see there's still quite a bit of moss and stuff through that. So I did explain it a minute ago, whenever we're going lines like that, the closer you take the line, then the less harsh you are on the turf. So because there's quite a bit of moss left in this, and I've gone that way, I'm now going to go across it that way, and that takes the most out. So we'll do it again, and then we'll see if it needs to be done after that.
Premier Lawns have been working on my garden for the last year or so, and I've always found them to be very reliable, always prompt. Whenever they say they're coming, they always come and do a very good job and are very reasonably priced. I couldn't recommend them highly enough.
Right guys, welcome back. We didn't have time to do this yesterday in the space of the van, so we'll have these humps in we'll have these hollows in the lawn where I showed you yesterday when we put the rake across. We're having the topsoil, we're just going to fill these areas in. Now sometimes I might dig this out, but I think just because they are pretty deep there, I think we can get away with just throwing the soil in and standing it down. Okay, so Daniel and I are just finished standing this in, making sure compressing it well down in. We're going to give it a final rake off, and then I'm going to seed it. So we'll have our grass seed. There's a lot of fescues and rye in here for the shade. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed this here, renovating this lawn, doing a bit of top dressing, overseeding. Make sure you smash that like button because it really helps me out and it helps me grow my channel. Subscribe for more content like this. I post regular lawn care tips and tricks of bringing your lawn to the next level. Again, look, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. 4 things you can do for your lawn this autumn or fall. Step 1, aeration. Daniel's done the aerating. I'm going to start the scar fan just to show you guys with new blades put on this boy. Step 2, scarification. There you go, double scar fight. Daniel's just rigging it up. Here comes Bella. Bella's with us today. Give us a wee say hello to YouTube, Bella. There you go. Step 3, moss control. I have another video on moss control. The link is up in the top right hand corner if you want to know why I'm putting on the moss control now. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you leave me a comment down below, smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Step 4, feed with an autumn lawn fertilizer.